Vine sighed once again, as she got tired of listening to the professor babble for an hour, while she didn't get a word of what he said. She played with her phone a little while hiding it, texted her boyfriend, but the professor caught her multiple times, so he took the phone from her hand at last. She was frustrated. She wanted to leave. She was hardly managing it while constantly looking at the time. As soon as the bell rang, she raised her head from the desk in excitement and stretched her arms. Jungkook looked at her from afar and adored her. He smirked without realizing, after looking at her. One of her classmates, named Sungjun, had eyes on her too, and smiled brightly as he looked at Vine. Jungkook unknowingly noticed him. Jungkook's smiling expressions calmed down and changed into jealousy as to why he has to look at her that way. He shrugged it off, knowing that he was going to spend the night with her and not someone else. Jungkook smiled again and became excited to finally meet her outside and give her a hug. As soon as he was about to get outside, a loud noise attracted his attention and stopped him. Sungjun spoke loudly. Wait, everyone. I know the lecture was hard to bear. I have a surprise for you all to lift up the mood. Everyone was eagerly waiting that Sungjun became a little nervous. He gathered the courage to finally declare his feelings. Surrounded by curious onlookers, he passed by everyone, ignoring them completely as he stood in front of Vine. He presented a bouquet of vibrant flowers and professed his love with a rehearsed passion. Sungjun, Vine, I've been waiting so long for this. Your answer doesn't matter, but I have to do this. Otherwise, I will regret it my whole life. I wanted to tell you that you're the sun that has brightened my life. You always give me courage to be a better person every time I look at you. I will always protect you. Sungjun, after a great pause, spoke finally. Will you be my girlfriend? His voice quivered, the vulnerability evident as he awaited her response. She was shocked to hear all this. In fact, everyone standing there was shocked. But they couldn't be more than him, her boyfriend. He looked at Sungjun with widened eyes and a fastened heartbeat, anger and jealousy clearly evident in his eyes, as he awaited eagerly for her response. The patience was slipping away when he heard everyone cheer. This was so cute. Accept him already. He looked at his surroundings with a vague expression, hating every noise at the moment. Jungkook, what the hell was cute here? He looked at Vine to hear her answer, even though he knows what it will be. Vine smiled politely and said, This was unexpected. I appreciate your feelings, but I can't cooperate. I already have someone special. She smiled widely while saying that. Looking at that, Jungkook's frustration calmed down. He looked at her with admiration when she called him special in front of everyone. Her polite rejection echoed, met with a mix of sympathetic glances and hushed whispers from the intrigued crowd. Sungjun was completely embarrassed as he said in a low tone, Oh, I didn't know. His heart broke as he uttered those words. Vine, while reassuring him, said, It's okay. I hope you find someone who can make you happy, more than me, and who loves you back, the one you truly deserve. As Wang gracefully handled the situation, Jungkook observed it all from a distance, a subtle smirk playing on his lips. Sungjun didn't want to embarrass himself anymore, yet he couldn't stop when it was about her. Wine, I've liked you for so long. Can't you give us a chance? She apologetically replies, I appreciate your feelings, but I'm committed to someone else. Samjun desperately said, what does he have that I don't? Wang stayed quiet as he looked at the desperation in his eyes. She truly felt bad for him. Sanjun noticed that she was struggling. He had a tear in his eye as he smiled and said, I know I'm looking like an idiot as I say that. Vine shook her head and held his shoulders while smiling. You aren't an idiot. He looked at her. Vine, having feelings for someone and then hiding it for so long, just for their happiness, is something not everyone can do. You are brave. You didn't even know my answer. Still, you confessed in front of everyone. Thank you so much. But it's not about the comparison between you and him. I I love him. Jungkook had butterflies in his stomach. He tried to stop blushing, but he couldn't. She never said that directly to him, but she is finally confessing. That too, in front of everyone. He was proud of her for talking with Sungjun in such a way that he could never do. Sungjun wiped his tear. What if he is not the right one for you? He is for me. Even if he is not, I don't care. I have already fallen too deep for him. I can't live without him. I hope you understand. Sungjun looked downwards and said, I hope you stay happy with him. Thanks for secretly giving me the courage all this time. He looked at her, smiled, and waved goodbye to her without speaking anything. Fine. Thank you for understanding. She waved back at him, and he went outside the room, bursting into tears that he wanted to hide, but she saw them anyway. Everyone left after him too, except the one person, Jungkook, who was constantly staring at her as if he fell for her again. She looked at Jungkook as he was coming towards her while smirking. Got yourself another admirer, huh? He locked the door of the empty classroom and came to her. Holding her waist to pull her towards him, he wrapped both arms around her back. Fine. It's not like that. He just confessed and I turned him down. The possessive side of Jungkook showing up. Good. I don't like others eyeing on what's mine, he said in a deep voice while looking in her eyes. Wine, hiding her blush as she said, yours? I don't remember being labeled as property. Jungkook, pulling her closer. In my heart, you are my property. She blushed again without giving an answer. He kissed her on the lips softly. He made patterns on her cheeks while adoring her after a hard day. Jungkook, becoming serious. Did he bother you? Wine, reassuring him. No, he was decent about it. I'm just a little disappointed. Jungkook nodded. Decent. Let me know if he bothers you. Wine, laughing. I liked seeing you like that. Being jealous, I mean. She laughed again. Jungkook smirked. I don't share well, and you know it completely. Wine, pretending to pout. And here I thought I was free to roam around. Jungkook, raising an eyebrow. You're not going anywhere. Wine, playfully looked at him. Not even for ice cream? Jungkook paused and said, Okay, ice cream together then. Anywhere else? No. Vine grinned. Deal. Both laughed loudly as he flicked her nose and hugged her. They rested in each other's embrace for a while. Jungkook kept playing with her hair. Jungkook said in a low tone, I loved it today when you said you loved me. Vine smiled. Thinking about it, I realized I never said it. That was the perfect moment, right? I saw you smiling like a crazy cat. She laughed. Jungkook, as he loved the voice of her laughter, said, I'll keep making you laugh like this for eternity. Fine. But eternity is such a long time. Jungkook, closing his eyes as he sighed. With you, it's not long enough. Vine smiled uncontrollably. Then let's make every moment count. He smiled and broke the hug. They locked their eyes with each other to enjoy a moment of love. Jungkook, sealing it with a kiss. Always. They were kissing each other, being completely lost, until they heard a knock on the door, which made them break the kiss immediately. The professor from outside shouted, Who is inside? Open the door immediately. Jungkook ran, but Vine held his hand, making him slip a little. As he calmed down a bit and hid behind the door, she opened the door and said, Sorry, I must have locked it without realizing. She went outside before listening to anything. The professor entered inside and saw Jungkook hiding behind the door. He panicked immediately. Professor, who are you? Jungkook in a hurry. Cleaning. I'm the cleaning guy. Thank you, he said and ran outside. The professor nodded. Oh, okay. Wait, then why was he wearing the school student uniform? Wait, you bunked your class again, right? Wait, the professor shouted while running behind him as Jungkook ran while laughing.